Hello again, Jared here, and I'm back with another video that I've titled Value Yourself. Sounds pretty simple, but this one came to me fairly quickly after a large discussion I had online with a group of people, and it became quite popular, and there was quite a lot of discussion from many people that got me thinking this sounds like an important topic. And I hate to say that this is actually something that I've done myself, that I'm saying not to do. And I've also been on the receiving end where someone else has been doing it. And I'm going to get into that. But this was a very popular topic. It sounds like a lot of people have gone through this, and that's why I want to bring it up. Now, in my own personal way, this is kind of hilarious to me because I have a speed paint right now showing myself doing a landscape. This is one of many landscapes that I'm doing for my project. I'm trying to do it like this vintage postcard look, like it's got this whole postcard type feel. But I'm not a brilliant landscape painter. I don't consider myself one anyway. I've been watching bazillions of Bob Ross episodes, and I know I started out doing more landscapes, but with my art, I feel at this point excelled more doing characters. And so when I go back to this, I get a little nervous, and I go to Strugtown working on this. It does all come together, I think, at the very end, but when I look at other amazing landscape artists that I admire, I mean, I get to the point where I feel sick of how good some people are, and I look back at what I do and I just go, I'm taking this in a humble stride, but at the same time, what I wanted to say in this public video is, man, I suck at landscapes. I suck as a person. I suck. Like, it's not even that good, but here it is. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The art, or when an artist devalues themselves. How many times have you seen someone post on an art page online, or heard at maybe a convention or in a group artist discussion where someone shows you their piece, or they'll show you their portfolio, and they just start rattling off before you can even say anything? They just start saying, I suck, this sucks, this isn't that good. And, like, what are you doing? I mean, if you thought it was good enough to show somebody, why are you devaluing it before we can even make our opinion? If you don't care about it, why should I? It's a really bad mindset. It's like going into work with a bad attitude. You know, maybe something did bad happen to you, or maybe you really are not feeling good about it. But that's for private time. That's for when you're sitting in your studio or your apartment or wherever it be, and where you can scream at the wall or throw your stylus or break your tablet over your knee. I know that I wanted to do that. I've said some terrible things in private about myself and the frustration of wanting to get better. And that's what artists do. It's part of the process. So I'm not saying don't ever have that happen, because it's going to happen. It's part of it. If you want to get better, you're going to hit roadblocks and you're going to feel that pressure. I do all the time. I do damn near every day. But when you bring it to the public forum, when you bring it to the public domain, and you have decided that something you spent so many hours on, that I'm going to show a bunch of people this, my friends, some random people, when you start the discussion right off the bat that this sucks and I suck, that's a really poor attitude to bring to the table. And you have no idea what you're doing when you do that. Or maybe you do, but I feel that a lot of people come off to the point where they think it's a humbling process, where they're like, well, I don't want people to think I don't have a big ego. You know, I don't want them to think I'm the greatest thing ever, because I don't like those people either. I don't like anyone that comes to the table and just thinks they're the baddest ass dude in the room. I've met people like that. I went through that in college, you know, through music writing classes. I hated it. But devaluing yourself doesn't help anyone as well. Another thing I want to bring up is, I already said that some people do it because they're scared of being perceived of having an ego, but other people do it because, in a way, it's like they're setting up a shield where they feel that they're so insecure with their art, they're so nervous to show people, that if they feel that if they tell someone that they suck right off the bat, that if someone actually does say it, it'll hurt a little bit less. And that's still a bad attitude to take, because what if someone says it? What if someone actually does say, yeah, you're right, this isn't good? Then is it going to make it easier? Is it going to make it easier at all? Why did you have to say that to begin with? I mean, if you're showing people, you should have a little bit of confidence in your art. Everyone starts somewhere. If you had enough confidence to show that picture to the public, then you should have enough confidence to not say that. I like to always think back at Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies. I've seen that movie, the trilogy. I still have the original trilogy on VHS, actually. I've seen that movie probably 20, 30 times. But I just remember when Marty McFly, or George McFly, I'm sorry, was in the cafeteria writing his science fiction novels. And Marty was like, hey, let me read them. He's like, oh, no, I don't want anybody to read these. Like, what if someone rejected me? Or like, what if someone said I was no good? I don't know if I could handle that type of rejection. And that was one of his downfalls. That was one of the pitfalls of George McFly's character, is that he just never valued himself. He never had the courage to put himself out there. And then near the end of the movie, I mean, not to be a spoiler here, but in the alternate universe, he decided that he would put himself out there, and it made all the difference. And it changed his attitude about everything, and how he wasn't afraid to show people stuff, and he could stand beside his creations. And you see that at the end of the first film and how that changed his life. And that's what I'm saying here. If you're confident enough to show people, then you should be able to stand beside it, and feel a little proud for what it is. Even if it's not technically that good, you tried, and that's what you're doing. So let's spin this around a bit. Let's take it from the person doing it to the person receiving it. And imagine being a brand new artist, or someone thinking about picking up the pencil, or it could be a musician or a book author. And you're thinking about, doing this, and then you see somebody who might be someone you look up to, or someone that's very experienced. And let's say they're showing a new picture that they did. And right off the bat, they're doing the whole, this sucks, this isn't that good, I don't really like it, I'm not happy with it. And it's okay to say you're not happy with something. That, by the way, is one way that you can word it to lighten the load. I mean, being unhappy with something is not the same as saying you suck. Because I'll say I'm unhappy with something. I've said that a lot, but that's a much more professional, PC principle way of putting it. But anyway, back to the point. Imagine someone just starting out in art, and they hear this person say that. And they might have a couple pictures they worked really hard on. They might have spent 3 to 4 hours on a picture. It might not even look that good. It might look pretty bad, but they really worked, and they struggled just as much as a more experienced artist would struggle. And this guy way up there is showing his art, and this beginner is going, wow, that's really good. Oh my God, I can't do that. But then he's just tearing himself up. He's just ripping himself apart. And this person that's a new beginner is like, oh my God, well, I don't want to show him my work. He'll think it's super bad. If he thinks he's terrible, how bad am I? How terrible am I? And that's the thing. Even if the person is technically worse, that's not even the point. It's the fact that you're already lowering morale in the room. You're giving people a reason not to work towards something. And some people might say, well, that's their fault. If they're not strong enough to suck it up and just persevere, then they shouldn't be an artist. Well, to a point, but to someone just getting into it, I mean, I don't want to learn how to do something, and on day one, someone's kicking sand in my face and spitting in my eye. Like, no thanks. I just crossed the gate. I'm out of here. You got to give people the inspiration, a little bit of a responsibility to help mentor and move people forward. Obviously, there's going to be points where it gets tough. There's going to be points where they need to get those hard critiques. Believe me, it's happened to me. But for a lot of the beginners, a lot of the people, even if they've done it for a couple of years, it's not a good attitude to take. And even if someone thinks that you're really good as you're saying that you aren't, you're not helping yourself. It's almost like bad marketing. Like, it's just bad PC, or not PC, bad PR. And While people might like your work, they might not respect you as much. And I've seen that happen a lot, and you don't want to be on that end. Now, we're going to go into a quick story time. It's about me, I guess. This goes way back to high school. Has nothing to do with art, actually, but it's the same concept. Where it was my freshman year of high school. I think it was around 14 or 15. And I don't mean this in any bragging sense because I have failed plenty of classes. I know I've already said that in one of my past videos. But I was taking algebra freshman year of high school, and I had one of the highest grades in the class. I was holding a straight A in the class. It was me and one other student. And the teacher would ask us questions, and we would be studying some new formula, some new equation. And I'd raise my hand, and there'd be some times where I would answer, where I would get something wrong, or I don't know. I can't even remember what the questions and answers were, but I just remember if I got something wrong, I would just say, oh, all right, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. And I would do that all the time. I'm stupid. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm so stupid. And I kept doing that and doing that. And it got to the point where another student in class called me out when I said that. And they're like, dude, stop saying that. Like, that's not cool. Like, I got called right out in the middle of class because I kept saying that. And I didn't realize what I was doing. And I think part of it, I mean, I guess it's perception. It's either A, don't beat yourself up, but there could have been students struggling for the A or struggling for the B or the C, and they're listening to one of the highest grades in the class call themselves stupid. How do you think everyone else feels? And it's not that anyone was stupid. It's not that I was stupid, but that's not a cool thing to do. And at the same time, let's say it was the other way. If you walked into a room and you saw a guy punching himself in the nose until it started bleeding, would you feel compelled to stop him? Like, would you want to see someone self-mutilate themselves in a room? This is kind of an exaggerated form, but I know I wouldn't. At some point, you'd just be like, oh my God, dude, please stop. Quit doing that to yourself. And that's a little bit of what's going on here. And whether you feel that you're not good enough, whether you feel that you feel defeated all the time, it's a toxic mindset to get into because it's this giant spiral that you're going to keep going down. Because if you keep telling yourself you're no good and no one's supporting you on that, you will eventually believe that. I guess it's that scary mindset of where you just start becoming too reliant on what other people think. It's very easy to want to lean on, what is your opinion? What do you think of me? Like you get so self-conscious about the perception of how people see you that you're willing to just beat yourself up before the fight even begins. And that's a hard thing to get over. It's not something that comes lightly. One of my virtues that I've tried to live by in the last few years, and art has definitely helped me do that, is living honestly. And living honestly is not a positive or negative word to me. It is just a word. Honesty can mean confronting your embarrassments, your successes, your failures, being able to look at yourself and acknowledge who you are and all of who you are, what you're good at, what you fail at, your flaws, your successes. And doing that really helps how you can carry yourself day to day. And, while you won't care about what your friends say, like your close friends that you might see on a daily basis, I mean, it's always good to, discuss things. I mean, you shouldn't bottle everything up. But when it comes to just a random screen name or someone that you've never met pop up online, or just even at a random convention, or it could just be a place of just lots of people that you've never seen, you shouldn't really care too much about what other people think. If you are happy and know what your goals are and know what you are trying to achieve, then nothing else should matter. I have had people call me and the stuff I've made, anywhere from music to art, they've called me everything but a white man. I mean, I've been just absolutely destroyed in writing, in person, and in the past, it would have got to me a lot more, and at the time it did. But now, if I see something like that, I laugh. Because I know what I'm doing, I know what I want, and I'm happy at the direction that I'm taking. Because I said this a long time ago, I did this whole art thing for me. It's my own personal therapy. It has my own goals. I have very long-term goals for this. It's what makes me happy. I mean, it makes me happy enough that I've given up a lot of other things in my life, and I've never felt more sure about something in my life than what I'm doing right now. And that's why, I mean, call it foolish or not, that's why I kind of feel invincible. Like I've just got this force field up where no one is going to penetrate it and try to bring me down, because this is what makes me happy, and that's what I'm doing it for. And I would hope that everyone can find that thing in their life where they can feel that. And that doesn't mean be arrogant. That doesn't mean like be an asshole. But being confident, having value, and feeling value in who you are and what you're doing is the important part. There is a division between confidence and arrogance. And that's, I guess, for another discussion. But confidence is what you want. And I remember a quote that, well, as a little shout out here, Will Terrell is a channel on YouTube that I've watched. If I haven't already recommended him in the past, go check his channel out. I don't know if he was actually the one to say this, the first one to say it, but he said it because I think he heard it. But whatever. When it comes about attitude and how you approach things, there's two ways to think about the concept of living. And one is, I love because I'm loved. And that sounds nice, but the other way around, which he also said, is much better. I love, therefore I'm loved. Many of the things that happen in your life start with you. It starts with your attitude. It starts with your perception, how you carry yourself. And when you start with valuing yourself and having confidence in yourself, that will grow and expand to others. And you'll see a lot more positive things happen in your life by taking that mindset. That's why, I try not to do it anymore, but that's why I get really irked when I see people say that, where they sit there and say, I suck and this isn't good or I'm no good. I mean, no, don't do that. I kind of feel bad. I mean, there are people when they say that, they genuinely feel that. And that's a terrible thing to feel. And you really need to get out of that mindset. If you have already made that leap to show your work in public, you've already got the confidence right there. And I've said it once, and I'm going to say it twice. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. If you're still struggling with the concept of thinking that you're no good, ask yourself, why does some random guy's opinion matter more than yours? Now, is this someone that you see as a hero? I mean, are you an artist and you had some Disney artist come and tell you that you suck? No, a Disney artist is not going to tell you that you suck, because in my opinion, anyone that works for a company like that is not doing that type of attitude. They're the type of people that lift and build people up, not destroy people. And I'm pretty sure that's a hiring criteria, because most Fortune 50 companies that hire any crew for any type of job, doesn't even mean you have to be an animator. You could be a secretary. I don't care what it is. You bring a bad attitude into the office, you bring a bad attitude into any workplace, you're not going to last long. You're not going to last long on your job, and you're not going to last long as being a happy person. So you need to ask yourself, why does some random person's opinion matter more than yours? Unless there's someone you can learn from, it shouldn't matter. And most people that you learn from are the people that help you and mentor you and build you up. Those are the people you listen to. You don't listen to the naysayers. Some people just like to bitch. They like to tear people down. I've experienced it. I see it. And it just makes me shake my head. Like, how miserable are these people to take time out of their day and to get on the keyboard or get on the internet and just type really angry stuff to people for no reason? I mean, they're taking their time to try to make you miserable. Those are people you just ignore and filter out and you move on. If I see something I don't like, even if I see something that's offensive, I generally just move on. I don't take time out of my day to talk shit to somebody. Let me put it this way. I will only do that in very, very, very specific scenarios. And that generally will not be on a public forum. That will be in private. So Have confidence in yourself. Value yourself. You know, your opinion is worth something. You know, and it always starts with you. You're the one that put the work in. You're the one that felt it was good enough to show people. And even if it's not, you'll get better. You'll get better. I mean, this landscape I'm doing, I'm going to look at this tomorrow and go, oh, God, I see a problem here, 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 here. And then I just shrug and go, well, I'll get it better next time. Because I got a lot more of these to do. But that's what it means to grow as an artist. You're always striving for the next thing. You're never satisfied, but it's still an enjoyable journey. And that's what it should be. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up. Comment, like, subscribe. I think I'm showing the video, or not video, but the picture now. This is Faraday Falls. It's got mountains and climbing and hiking and camping and skiing. Come visit. Bring money. I got a lot more of these coming. But all right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.